will like it or not or love it. Like in the past, you might have had too much coach speak, right? At times, he's telling you, listen, they're doing well. I'm not going to hold them back. But this first game is a grown man game. And this is what he's also saying. It's not just because Minnesota's known to play grown man football. He's letting you know we're going to attempt and try realistically with our actions to play grown man football too. So this is not going to be a game for the faint of heart. You get what I'm saying?
Well,
And so, if you think you could do that, you can might be a little punk little Jimmy from, Ogallala and all that stuff. But you could listen, Reggie up there in Minneapolis
waiting for
from
you.
Ocala, Florida, that's just been salivating trying to jam you up is waiting for you. So you got to wait your turn and keep working at it.
Well, both. It's interesting to do the deep dive, and you hear PJ Fleck and his staff and his players talk about what their philosophies are and how they're approaching this thing, and then you hear Matt Rule and the Huskers, and you hear what they're talking about,
Right.
and their common words, because this is the common word season. Toughness is the one word that both of them use in full, and if you're going to talk about the young Huskers, the pups, a lot of them are at either defensive end
Mm-hmm.
or at wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the positions where youth may be required to
Immediately.
assist right in this thing.
Yeah, more on the receiver. I think.
Well, I mean,
I think the outside guys can kind of you can kind of hold that off a little bit, but I think it's two different things, right? And I don't mean to cut you off.
but if you ask Nebraska's edge guys in the 3-3-5 to be Swiss Army knife, kind of do everything,
You need more,
right? Then you need more because you're going to wear them out,
right?
and you're going to face a Minnesota offensive line. Yeah, they have 3 new starters, but you know who they replaced them with? Redshirt seniors.
Yeah, guys have just been waiting in the wing.
Right, redshirt, hungry Gophers, angry Gophers who've been sitting there waiting. So it's a thing. If you're gonna this, could end up being game one. Could be a lean on contest.
Yeah,
Like
17 to 13.
Yeah, we're gonna lean on each other and we're gonna slug it out. And what we hope is our grown men outlast your young dudes.
Yeah, I think the wide receiver, the necessity of playing them is because of the subtractions, right? And some guys haven't stepped up, right? So you have Betts that quit, right? And then you're waiting for Fleeks to kind of get in shape and really take that leadership role. Then you've had some injuries with Marcus Washington, IGC, and you want to make sure you keep Billy Kemp, healthy.
Yep.
So if you can get what I just mentioned good, Marcus Washington getting continuity, IGC, Billy Kemp for 12 games, then you're good. But if one of those things or more than one don't come to fruition, or you hit a bump in the road, then you're going to have to put in the Bullocks, the Hans, and then look to some of the younger guys to piece together a 2-game stretch, 3-game stretch, and be into situational packages along with the tight ends as well.
And then health matters, right?
Right, and that's where it is, health right now, and health in, let's just say, you just instead of saying Xavier Betts quit, just say he made a decision that he wasn't in it. So just treat it as if he's out for the year.
He's out.
Right? So then on the outside linebacker, or the outside guys, here's what I think of. I think MJ Sherman has been everything that's advertised. I think Jamari Butler's taking advantage of the opportunity. I think you're still waiting for Chief Borders, but he's starting to come around. Then you got like Blaze Gunnerson and all those type of guys. So you have a little bit more of stability there. But I think the young guys, Prince, obviously is freshman, right?
Lenhart.
Cam Lenhart has came in.
Freshman.
And they're both freshmen. But what they've done, they have kicked the door in and announced themselves, we are here from the very beginning. So then therefore they have been in the conversation based on their actions and not subtraction.
Well, I don't think Prince practiced today. Again, wear and tear. Like this is
it's just different than high school.
Right.
This ain't high school
right. You get worn out. Now, so here's the thing. AJ Rollins is a backup sophomore, redshirt sophomore. Nash Hutmacher, junior. Elijah Judy, you brought in, redshirt transfer, but he's a sophomore. Chief Borders, transfer, sophomore. Blaze Gunnerson, redshirt, sophomore. Rukon Bucket, redshirt, sophomore. When you look at it, and if I'm going to speak from if I was on the opposite side of the fence,
right?
And I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at, well, geez, they got some puppies over there. How about we make them run a little bit? How about we lean on the pup and see how they
Right. Yeah.
respond? And you still have 5 Big Ten caliber receivers in Minnesota waiting to line up and waiting for somebody to blink in the secondary.
Right.
For somebody to blink, right? Run, 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 run.
Yeah.
Play fake,
Yeah. Stop doing your
play fake,
job. Right.
right? Play fake, like you bore them into a mistake, and it's a thing that happens. So Nebraska's going to have some work to do, especially with those. Yeah, you can use Jamari Butler and put him at an end, run him for a couple of series, but you can't ask him to lean up against a 300-pounder for 12 plays in a row.
No, and I mean that's where Ty Robinson, Nash, and those guys are going to have to really step up, and then it's also going to put more onus on the linebacker room, where you feel like with the numbers, it gives you depth, right? Where you think of, okay, you got Luke Reimer, Nick Heinrich, you got MJ Sherman, then you throw Jamari Butler in there, Chief Borders, you get addition of like Kane Williams, and even like a Michael Booker the third. And Eric Fields has started to emerge. So when you need to give guys breaks, right, and kind of can play multiple positions, it can alleviate the defensive line's needs of like having depth, because you can have kind of multi-position guys that can create some matchup problems. It's really honestly always going to come down to this though: running, blocking, tackling, and taking care of the ball. Every game's going to come down to it. You got to get off blocks. You got to run like heck, and you got to arrive at the party with multiple guys over and over and over with bad intentions. And then it's going to allow the defensive backs to play defensive back. And they have to, even though they have Hartzog, I guess you can throw Tommy Hill in there, and then obviously you have Quentin Newsom. That you should feel very comfortable about 2 of them for sure. And then if Tommy Hill seems to have turned the corner for the better, that should give you other confidence. And then you feel, you feel so good enough about, I'm assuming, about your safety position, that you were able to, be somewhat okay with Miles Farmer leaving. So that means Singleton, that means, Isaac Gifford, that means Omar Brown, and a host of other guys that stepped up, right? So that means you think you have some depth there. That'll help in the run game. But what they have to do, and this is what this next half of the week and next week is going to be huge, right? The competition is still thick, but we have to start turning the pages. We got to create some continuity. So as we're doing it and you start to see the same guys with the same units and all that, you're starting to get the continuity, or you should be. Then the communication and the execution has to go through the roof, right? That means the communication outside of our play series, right? Because we got to start honing in and locking in, has to increase, because now we got to start playing off of each other and for each other. Right now, you kind of show up in camp like, I gotta beat DP out, I gotta beat Austin out. Now the pecking order should be set or somewhat clear by the end of this week, and it's a week to week thing, because if you get too comfortable being out there and don't perform, well then all of a sudden somebody that keeps working is going to be out there. Because if you see, the thing is, you can't practice as if you've arrived and think that you're going to arrive in the game. You have to practice every day like it's a game. That makes the game easier, because all you're doing in theory, and it's not always in theory, because like I said, I know for a fact the player was told multiple times not to field the ball past the 8-yard line. And Champagne a couple years ago, he decided to go and have this field the ball.
You had a moment,
right? So it's not all the time that you show people how you practice, right? So I think a lot of times if you approach practice like it's a game, the games don't become easier, but it just becomes a form of habit, and then you start to raise the level of your look, you're going to be moving at hopefully at a different speed come Thursday night in a couple of weeks. So, I mean, they got a lot on their plate.
That's a big part. You just nailed a big part of opening day, is to be able to be familiar with Friday night, that August 31st speed. Like, it has to feel familiar.
Well, I mean,
it has to feel familiar.
It's got to be, and it's got to be quick, right? So I want you to be, don't wait. Let's not wait. Let's throw the first punch. Let's be all, you never want to be, you like tell them, hey, I'm okay with DP jumping outside. I'd rather you be aggressive than sitting there getting punched in the face. I want you jacked up. I want you on the edge from play one. I want you ready to go, right? And sometimes you need to do that. And then I want you to, to be getting off the ball. So we want our effort and of course our execution to overwhelm them. And what we need to do, and again, you got time. Today's only the 16th.
Yep.
Okay, you got 2 weeks because you're on the plane in 2 weeks. Okay, so you got 2 weeks to get it together. And so you should be getting it together now, but you're moving towards 2 weeks goes very, very quickly. And so you got to be moving towards getting ready for the game, and doing everything you need to do in order to be successful. Because when you get up there and you got a lot of young dudes, you name these guys that where how far they're along in school. Now some of them are redshirt sophomores because of COVID, but they're still redshirt sophomores. A lot of them based on playing time. Like Chief Borders was a high school All-American. Florida, by the way, Chicago, didn't play much at Florida. MJ Sherman, Baltimore, Georgia, hadn't played much. Blaze played some, played well in short spurts. Nash as well came on. But now you're going from 8 plays of showing some flashes. Now we're going to need, in Nash's case, 30 or 40 plays. And that's what the weight coach in the offseason has done. That's what practice is for. But you got to go overdrive so the games become easy, because the anxiety of playing in that first game, you're going to be tired by the third play.
And new phone text messages, ticket requests.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Well, it's within driving distance, but I think Minnesota's not going to give you that many. That should be taken care of.
Yeah, they was tight to us, man.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're going to be a little – look, Minnesota, PJ Fleck is playing mind games.
But I did have – he originally said, I'll give you 2. And then I sent the foreman name, and he was like, "Oh, okay. We can let."
That's for my dad.
We can let Jay show.
The reason why that is. That's Sid Hartman. That's Sid Hartman. But rest in peace. He's looking down on us. But we're gonna go to break first. First big segment out. When we come back, we have the final preseason rankings from ESPN Plus, and I included the new additions to the Big Ten. Now there'll be actually text line. We know that they're not in the Big Ten now, but just to look at the strength as we move forward, conference realignment. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and Jay. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Is this you? You feel the same way every day, and it's not good. You may think there's a magic pill that can fix you. There isn't. Limitless Male has found that the majority of men who admit they feel bad are suffering with low testosterone, which can cause these symptoms: low energy, brain fog, belly fat, muscle loss, low libido. Sound familiar? Get your testosterone checked at Limitless Male. Your first consult is free. Insurance accepted.
Proud to be voted Best Vape Shop.
Generation V
Is thrilled to announce our newest location is now open at 27th and Superior.
Generation V.
Explore the largest selection of vape, Delta 8, Kratom, all your favorite brands of disposables, e-liquid, and premium THCA flower.
Generation V.
We'll guide you through our extensive collection to help you find the perfect fit.
Generation V.
With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, Seward, York, Kearney, and Beatrice. Visit our newest store, now open at 27th and Superior in Lincoln. GenerationV.com. E6 contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstoRats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Don't allow uninvited guests to take over your home. Trust Bats to Rats for a peaceful and rodent-free living space.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Against Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Against Sports at 48th and Vine.
Join Planet Fitness now and get the PF Black Card for only $24.99 a month. You'll enjoy an upgraded experience with tons of perks.
Like access to more than 2,000 locations worldwide?
Yep.
And massage chairs?
Yes.
Can I bring a friend every time?
Sure.
Can my friend be a horse?
Nay. Sorry. Get the PF Black Card and feel spectacular. Only $24.99 a month. Our most popular membership, the PF Black Card, is your ticket to getting all the perks. Join today. See Club for details.
Summertime is in full swing, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams, from treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance to make your project go smoothly. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway. Deck City, your local deck experts.
Nutrition Authority invites you to save 35 to 75% off at our back-to-school blowout. We're taking our better-than-internet prices and cutting them even deeper, bringing you the biggest sale of the season. Monday, August 14th through 19th, the back-to-school blowout is on at Nutrition Authority. For location information, check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, and they've scouted out the best Kawasaki side-by-side deals for you. Score up to $2,500 off the 2023 Kawasaki Teryx and up to $1,000 off Mule Pro FX and FXCs. Whether you want to handle the toughest task in a trusted, tried and true mule or looking to dominate adventure in a Teryx, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of Kawasaki side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down. Offer valid through 9/30/2023. Subject to change without notice. Offer available on approved purchases of select new unregistered Kawasaki vehicles. Model and year exclusions apply. Cannot be combined with promotional retail financing rates.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Ironhide Construction has an immediate opening for an administrative assistant in their Lincoln office. The ideal candidate will have experience performing a variety of general office, administrative, and clerical duties. If you have excellent communication, interpersonal, and organizational skills, and are the type of person who enjoys keeping track of all the fine details, then this job is for you. Learn more online at ironhideconstruction.com/careers. Ironhide Construction. Quality buildings and genuine service at a reasonable price.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
The Lincoln forecast for today, sunny, breezy. It'll be a hot one this afternoon. We'll see a high of around 92. Tonight, we'll see mostly clear skies with an overnight low of around 66. Tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies again. Breezy and a little cooler tomorrow. We'll see an afternoon high of around 82. Meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Short break. Jay Foreman, DP, old school. Just looking before I came in here, man, and looking at they had ESPN, ESPN Plus. They have their last rankings. I actually was looking at the, I guess, pre-fight solo press conferences for the UFC with O'Malley and what's the young brother name?
Aljamain Sterling.
Yeah, they actually really don't like each other. Sterling does not like O'Malley, and it seems he has a look in his eyes. He's personally going to try to beat that man. And O'Malley, he think he Conor McGregor 2.0 with just a little bit of face tattoos. He's a little bit of Conor McGregor. And what's the rapper that had face tattoos?
It's 6ix9ine.
No. Well, yeah, that too, but the other
Post Malone.
Yeah, Post Malone.
Yeah.
So then I stumbled on the one of the many lists that they kind of have, even though college football is right around the corner, and it's their last preseason poll list. And they ranked every team from 1 to what is it, Austin?
212? I think 133.
130.
They only went to 133.
For FBS.
Yeah.
Okay.
FBS.
They gave some people a break, so we don't.
Yeah, 133. DP, can you guess who's 133?
it would have been. It used to be UConn was consistently at the bottom of that.
Not anymore. They
Rhode Island, yeah. They turned it around, but
yeah.
UConn was at the bottom of it. Rhode Island was down there, and
it's up in that area.
It wouldn't be New Hampshire because they're actually balling a little bit, I think.
You'll get it in a minute, man.
Oh, UMass.
UMass.
Yeah. I sent a couple of nephews to UMass.
Yeah.
And I regretted that. I was like, y'all should have played down. Like you should have, like, because they got in where they could fit in, right?
Yeah.
And they never got better. Wide receiver and cornerback. They like being at UMass.
Yeah, I'm surprised like a team like Colorado State is down in the hundreds because they, I would just remember watching Colorado State against Colorado when I was in college.
It was Sonny Lubick.
Yeah, Stanford's 92, Wyoming's 90, Colorado with Dion is 88, Northwestern, Northwestern's ranked way too high at 85. They should be down at 133. But pulling up the rear right here, right, of the ranked teams, at least the ones I have here, is Northwestern's at 85. We're not even going to talk about them. Nebraska's 59.
Okay.
Purdue's 58. So if you count the new additions of the Big Ten next year, there's UCLA and all them. Big Ten has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 in the top 60.
Okay.
So that's what?
That's a quarter of the top 60.
Yeah, quarter of the top 60. So you're really, and then just in the top 20, right? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the Big Ten is for real. But you got Michigan State 46, Illinois 43, Maryland 41. Then there's a huge gap. Then you have UCLA, so you can't really count them this year. They're 28. Then Minnesota comes at 27. Iowa's 22. Wisconsin's 19. Then you got Washington and Oregon, and so then there's another big gap from 19. Then number 6 is Penn State, Michigan's 3, or Ohio State's number
2. These polls are necessary.
Yeah. Well, it's all predictor based on what you did last year, how many conference games you have, your opponents, your strength of schedule, and then then you go from there. Obviously, Georgia's number 1.
I'm fascinated. So I did the other thing. They did the 1 through 100 players.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that next. We're gonna get that in the 5 o'clock.
The players, right? So that kind of intrigued me.
Yeah, because you're gonna see some of them, and then there's some guys ranked. It's like, dang, I wish I was playing right now. Right? Michael Penix, right?
I could get in.
Michael Penix Jr. literally threw himself out of a starting lineup and just put Iowa's defense up there to like the 85 Bears, right? First 2 passes, pick 6, put Riley Moss up there in the draft, transfers to Washington, and now he's up for the Heisman. And by this list, he should be a first-round pick.
All right, so let me ask you. So Nebraska was what, 52?
They were 59.
59. Okay.
Which actually for Nebraska is pretty generous, in my opinion. But I look at it like this: you play Purdue, you play Michigan State, you play Illinois, you play Maryland, Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, all winnable games, right? So
but teams that you are not going to be favored against.
No, it's either going to be even Steven or what's the 3-point when you're at home. That's the complimentary 3-point, but it's just essentially home cooking, right? So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games. If you, because so when you really are thinking about it, I think Illinois is probably ranked a little too low. They should be up ahead of, up a little higher.
Okay.
Based on the defensive guys they haven't come back, right?
That defensive line is nasty.
And Brett Bielema knows how to coach. I think Maryland should be a little bit higher than 41, considering for what they've done at Maryland. Okay, Maryland, let's say Maryland's right where you're at. I think Michigan State, the way they played last year, is ranked up too high. But for Nebraska, Purdue ranked up too high. So you think if you break it down in quadrants, right, and, should really bank on, or like ideally to beat those 2 knuckleheads, Michigan State and Purdue, right? Especially because Purdue is a whole new regime, a very young head coach, great. He's going to be a good
Who I
coach.
like.
Oh,
I
he's
like
a great. You can see why he's a head. You can see why he's a head coach.
I like him a lot.
You can see why Colorado obviously hired Dion, but you can see he was the next, and then Purdue jumped on it. You can see why he's going to do a good job, and he's going to push Purdue to do more because he's learned from Brett Bielema, right? Because Brett Bielema has pushed Illinois to do more, and that's where you're seeing it. Then Michigan State, they from what I've been told up there is that the defense is back. They're starting. They haven't named their starting quarterback. I saw Noah Kim on the Big Ten thing. They have both of them up there. The other guy did a lot of talking. The one thing I don't know, Noah Kim, he did a lot of just this, and he was getting interviewed by Howard Griffith, and I could see in his eyes and his brain he was thinking about football. He's like he had to do the interview, but he didn't want to do the interview because he wanted to do football. So how that shakes out actually works in Nebraska's favor, considering that they haven't maybe they've probably made a decision internally, externally you don't know. So that bodes well for Nebraska. The Illinois game bodes well for Nebraska, depending on quarterback position, tight end position. Running backs, I feel because at the end of the day, if you can get Anthony Grant to Champaign, right? Get that brother to Champaign, he can tote the pill. Okay. But Illinois quarterback position, right? And running back position plays to Nebraska's favor. Those are two huge glaring areas. And yes, they might be able to replace them, in body, but you can't though. Chase Brown was that dude. As much as we talk about Mo up in Minnesota, Chase Brown is that dude. So that's a winnable game. The one that kind of can be a little different. Nebraska had success against Maryland. Me and DP talk about this all the time, and I always say this. Every year it comes down to if Maryland has recruited and developed their first and second levels on the defense to Big Ten size and standard. If they had a really good offseason in spring and summer, and obviously fall camp or summer camp, they're going to give a lot of people problems because nobody ever thought Maryland was going to have a first-round pick at corner. They got athletes, superior athletes in the DMV. Why do you think Penn State, the North Carolinas, the Clemsons, the Florida States go there and pluck team? I mean, even Ohio State, right? They got depth and talent there. Mike Locksley has done an excellent job because Maryland by no means is a football school. By no means has support. You got a great base there in the DMV for people to go. They never go to games. And it's a phenomenal campus. It is. Terrence Morris, who I grew up with, played at TJ and played at
Big
Maryland.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Big Smooth.
So, Terrence he's 6'9". He's always be throwing my stuff, but we grew up playing basketball together. Played at Maryland. I saw him a couple times, and he was on one of those really good Maryland teams. Maryland is a little bit of a situational game.
32,000 fans a game.
Yeah. We killed that in the spring game,
which ranks 66th.
If we were the head coaches of Nebraska and had a spring game, we'd get more people than that. Even though they know we weren't going to win nothing, they would at least go see us do a train wreck. Maryland has a really good quarterback. And has
holds 54, by the way.
Always 50. And that 32,000 is being generous too.
Oh.
And you got to think that 32,000 is when Penn State and Michigan comes to town and all the teams.
Ooh, you used to it was so bad that they're back in the ACC days, their biggest games were Penn State and Clemson.
Right. Because they get people there.
And they would always move it to Baltimore. They would always play them to Memorial Stadium. They would always move it. And then it would sell it because that was their money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough that they're not recruiting. They're battling Virginia Tech.
They're battling everybody.
And now James Madison, and now West Virginia.
Yeah, and William and Mary, because Maryland can't afford, and we'll do this before we break. A team like Maryland, and Nebraska fans can learn from this. Maryland can't afford to overlook a Derek Pearson and say, "Oh, well, we like our." We've heard this before.
Testify.
Well, yeah. But
testify.
And
here's an example. Play baseball, Maryland.
Here's an example. Harrison Phillips was at Millard West, right? 3-time state champion in wrestling. the most dominant defensive player. He went to the Warren Academy kind of when Steve was first getting going. And Steve used to comment like, man, they're just saying he isn't tall enough. Harrison Phillips is still playing in the NFL, right? He didn't fit our scheme because of height, right? Now he's a wrestler. So his size wouldn't be there when you go watch it. He's burning 8,000 calories. Well, he ends up being a 300-pound, 3 technique, and he went to Buffalo, played well with Vikings, and I think he's still playing. So Maryland, like Nebraska at times, can't overlook that. They need football players. And so it just comes down to, has that defense grown enough to be able to stop the run and be able to be dynamic enough to hit the quarterback? If they can't, then everybody hits their quarterback. We saw him at Big Ten Media Days. Okay. Little Tua, bro, little TT. Okay. And his name TT.
Yeah.
Listen, my man is not no more than 5'9". Okay. Him and Pocket Hercules down there in Arizona are growing their hair out, see who can be taller.
Yep.
He is not close to 200 pounds. Okay. Austin, I'm going to give you a little secret. The takeout order, McDonald's special sauce, lettuce, cheese, would be on tap for him. We do not want him to finish till halftime. You know what I'm going to do? I'm Tony Saragusa him against Rich Gannon. Oops, I'm sorry. I put all my 350 pounds on you.
My bad.
And your shoulder broke in half, but I'll see you next year. So that's the first part of that schedule. We're going to dive into it at the top of the 5 o'clock hour. And then in the second segment in the 5 o'clock hour, we're going to talk about the top 100 who we'll see.
And we need a trivia for Jay Foreman. We got some race tickets.
We got the trivia. And we'll do trivia. And then also we're going to talk about my man Isaiah Lee from Iowa State real quick. So I'm going to have a trivia question and give an update on Isaiah Lee from Iowa State. Poor man, he got out of 2 days. Isaiah got a rough going. And so we'll be back. Jay Foreman, DP, Old School. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is hiring and seeking motivated applicants. Gray offers a second-to-none benefit package that includes health, dental, vision, 401k, paid vacation, and paid holidays. They offer great pay and tuition reimbursement or a tool purchase program for qualified candidates. It's a fun, friendly team with lots of variety and work assignments, so there's something for everybody. View and apply for their job openings today at grayusa.com. Visit them in person just off I-80 and North 56th Street. Come be a part of the Gray difference.
Hiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Bob just wanted to say thank you for a record-setting July here at Koppel. The summer sales event continues in August, and the incentives are crazy good. Check this out. We got 0.9% financing along with a $2,500 trade-in rebate on select new models. You heard right. 0.9% financing has been extended along with a trade-in rebate. Also, our GM-certified used inventory is filling up fast, so make that money-saving drive to Koppel. It's just south of the interstate, or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
It's August, and that means summer is winding down and the kids are back to school with lots of fall activities coming up. All great things, but also cause lots of stress. Instead of letting your nerves get the best of you and cause uncomfortable tightness, get ahead of it all with a massage from The Body Shop. The Body Shop in Lincoln is your place for all types of massages. Deep tissue, hydrating, sports, Swedish, hot stone, aroma, and more. And don't forget about their couples massages. Book your appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com. The Body Shop at 48th and A.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. But there are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Nutrition Authority invites you to save 35 to 75% off at our back-to-school blowout. We're taking our better-than-internet prices and cutting them even deeper, bringing you the biggest sale of the season. Monday, August 14th through 19th, the back-to-school blowout is on at Nutrition Authority. For location information, check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, and they've scouted out the best Kawasaki side-by-side deals for you. Score up to $2,500 off the 2023 Kawasaki Teryx and up to $1,000 off Mule Pro FX and FXCs. Whether you want to handle the toughest task in a trusted, tried and true mule or looking to dominate adventure in a Teryx, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of Kawasaki side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down. Offer valid through 9/30/2023. Subject to change without notice. Offer available on approved purchases of select new unregistered Kawasaki vehicles. Model and year exclusions apply. Cannot be combined with promotional retail financing rates.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
The Butchery by Venue is Lincoln's premier specialty grocers. Take the quality of Venue home with you with our hand-cut steaks, handcrafted burgers, and locally sourced offerings. Browse our wide selection of specialty products designed to enhance your dining experiences with cheeses, spices, sauces, and more. We also have an exclusive collection of liquors, whiskeys, and bourbons at prices you're sure to love. Stop in to the Butchery by Venue today, located in our Venue at Home storefront at 70th and Pioneers, just 2 doors down from Venue Restaurant and Lounge.
You're counting on your team to win, so why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, call 988 for free, confidential, and compassionate support. On July 16th, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is transitioning to 988. There is hope. For 24/7 support, call, text, or chat 988.
Sponsored by Nebraska DHHS, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. Short segment before we get to the top of the 5 o'clock hour. Told you to give an update on my man Isaiah Lee from Iowa State, starting defensive tackle. Started 12 games last year. He is now going to be famous for having numerous bets. Then he bet Iowa State against Texas. I don't know what the money line is, but he bet for them not to win and not to cover. And they ended up winning 31-7. So not only are you not good, really you don't have any confidence in your team. Your team went out there and mollywopped Texas to the point that I think that's when Bo Davis, their defensive line coach, had secretly got recorded on the bus on the way home. He then also he had been approached about gambling, and they really didn't have any hard evidence on him. But truth be told, he had found a way to hide his identity online until the Fed said, okay, now I actually got to call back and get somebody back in the office to out you. They approached him about what they found, which is his identity and his bets. He left that meeting, hopped in his car, was gone.
Deuces.
He is no longer on the team.
Deuces. Hit him with the deuces, Isaiah.
He is no longer on the team. Trivia question is this. How many are we giving away? One? tickets.
Let's do a pair. Yeah.
Pair of tickets to Eagle Raceway. Let's see. It's for what days is it again?
The next two.
Any regular season event.
Any
Yeah, so
regular
there's two
season
more-
events.
there's
There's
two
two
more
more
events.
left on the 19th and the 26th. Two tickets work for both tickets work for both. The ticket is sponsoring the sprint race car driven by Mike Boston, 8-time Eagle Raceway champion. And the trivia question is this: what college? Okay, I'll even make it easier.
Mhm.
That will eventually be in the Big Ten.
Mhm.
That Mr. Tony White play at and attend to.
Easy peasy. Easy peasy.
People sometimes get confused because that's not exactly where he learned the 3-3-5.
Right.
There it
Easy-
is. First
easy
one up there.
peasy.
Austin will hook you up. With that being said, we're gonna go to break.
You know what it is? 8 clap.
We're gonna go to break, and then we're gonna talk. We're gonna finish out this Big Ten rankings in this last preseason, and then we're gonna talk about who we're gonna see and who we're excited to see of this top 100 players in college football that Nebraska will see.
Mm-hmm.
Jay Foreman, DP, Austin. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Proud to be voted Best Vape Shop.
Generation V.
Is thrilled to announce our newest location is now open at 27th and Superior.
Generation V.
Explore the largest selection of vape, Delta 8, Kratom, all your favorite brands of disposables, e-liquid, and premium THCA flower.
Generation V.
We'll guide you through our extensive collection to help you find the perfect fit.
Generation V.
With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, Seward, York, Kearney, and Beatrice. Visit our newest store now open at 27th and Superior in Lincoln. GenerationV.com. E6 contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Vershawn Jackson for Brand Excavating. Brand's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brand is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brand Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to brandexcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brand Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go Big Brand.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Bob just wanted to say thank you for a record-setting July here at Koppel. The summer sales event continues in August, and the incentives are crazy good. Check this out. We got 0.9% financing along with a $2,500 trade-in rebate on select new models. You heard right. 0.9% financing has been extended along with a trade-in rebate. Also, our GM-certified used inventory is filling up fast, so make that money-saving drive to Koppel. It's just south of the interstate, or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with roof credit.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. SCC's Discovery Days will give you the opportunity to experience SCC firsthand this fall. Discovery Days provide information about SCC's programs of study, how to pay for college, SCC support services, housing, activities, and more. A campus tour and lunch are provided. See your options at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
There's a buzz in the air at Kansas as drivers fight to move on to the next round of the playoffs. NASCAR Playoffs weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets today at kansasspeedway.com.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Rosie Sports Bar and Grill. Open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. But there are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Donnie Nelson kind of was doing a little, backyard boogieing with
Business on the side.
with Mark Cuban in the back rooms. Moves are being done and things are happening to which you don't really know about. That seems to me what happened in this situation. Things were going on, conversations was being had at the highest levels, and you're not in on the party.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back. We got our trivia winner, unknown texter. Austin will be in contact with you. The answer is UCLA. I actually didn't know that. I figured that I know he learned a 3.35 at San Diego State, so I figured he went there. But he went to UCLA. And,
UCLA.
He was a free agent with Buffalo Bills, played with the Ottawa Rough Riders in the CFL. So big ups to Coach Tony White. But this is Jay Foreman, DP, Austin on the ones and twos, Old School. Brought to you by the Mercado, certified Piedmontese, special ingredients and butcher shop, 84th and Havelock. Every type of meat and every type of cut. We were into the final preseason rankings. UCLA is at 28, so we'll keep going on, so we won't have to really expand on them. The Fighting Chip Kellys, we'll see them in less than 12 months or in about 12 months. Then you have Minnesota and Iowa and Wisconsin. That's the middle part. That's the meat, right? That's the grown man crew, right? That's the level that Nebraska has to get to before they try to get to the promised land, and that's to get through these three. And a reason why I say that is if you can handle your business in that first, 4, right, and then you can find a way eventually or whenever to win 2 or 3 of these games, or obviously 3-0 would be great. You're well on your way. If it was still in Indianapolis, number one, winning the West and then being in Indianapolis. But these 3 teams have really been a thorn in Nebraska's side. And they all do one thing well. Show up every single week and play their brand of football, which is physical, no mistakes, well coached, so forth and so on, which has obviously been the opposite of Nebraska. So if Nebraska gets consistent and is able to develop and get physically able, I think the skill position, always kind of favors Nebraska, but you're not going to be able to show that skill if you can't get out of your own way. So when you think of Minnesota, Iowa, Wisconsin, they're all there. If I'm Minnesota, I'm going to ask you guys, am I using that? I would use this as some, not bulletin board, but some motivational things. We won 9 games, right? Minnesota won 9 games.
Mm-hmm.
Iowa won, 7?
Mm-hmm.
Wisconsin, they were so last year, but they're both ranked significantly higher than us in Minnesota.
Minnesota is currently a 7.5-point favorite at home against Nebraska,
and that's the way it should. I mean, they should be favored at home.
Okay, Jay Foreman, which way you leaning?
For what?
7.5.
Like betting, or do I think who's going to win?
Supporting the theory that Minnesota is 7.5 points better than Nebraska. Yes or no?
Well, I mean, here.
Austin, help him out because
I don't know. I'm not a bettor, so I don't know.
Neither am I.
I don't
But
really
that's why
know.
I ask questions.
I mean, essentially, they're saying that in order for somebody to win money, if you pick Minnesota, they can win by 8 points, right? Is that am I right?
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't have no idea. I could see why they're favored, right? I don't think it's if I'm Nebraska, I'm cool with it. That's all you're favored. That's what I'm thinking. That's it. So really, they must not see something in you that normally should be the spread, right? We won 4 games last year. We had a tremendous amount of turnover in our roster, 39 new guys, right? 1 starter and 1 potential starter left the program right as camp or during camp started, and you're only a 7.5 point favorite at home. I mean, that's what I mean. I wouldn't be. Of course, I would want to be favored, right? Nebraska, but I'm not thinking it'd be different if you're saying, okay, Minnesota's a 21.5 point favorite at home.
I'm just Austin. Which side do you lean on? Good. This is a good call.
Okay. Again, in the same, not a better, never placed a bet camp. 7.5 is a bad number if you want to take Minnesota. I do know that from my limited experience. So I would recommend not betting on it. I would say I know 7.5 points more information about what Minnesota is, what Minnesota wants to do.
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
Are they going to be 7.5 points better on opening day? I don't know. I think they should be favored. The exact number of points, I wouldn't be able to tell you what.
It's hard because Minnesota, like the year that they won, they had their magical year, right? Mm-hmm. They went 3-0 and should have been 0-3. Mm-hmm. Now, shoulda, coulda, woulda, but I mean,
last minute.
Well, if the linebacker for South Dakota State dropped in the cover 3 drop, which they're gonna do Friday night when me and Nick do the Northwest, either the Lincoln Northwest and Pius game, you'll see cover 3. That's the bait. You'll see it at Little League. If he would have just dropped cover 3 and made the tackle, the game's over. He forgot to drop in cover 3. The flat route came through the flat route.
I wanted to be a part of that conversation when dude came to the sideline.
Right. This is the
bruh. That's right. That's literally the entire conversation.
South Dakota State has actually rebounded because they won the national championship, but that's a program builder, and for both teams, if they would have completed and beat them, but then it was for Minnesota. And what I'm saying is, whether it's that game on a Thursday night that they probably should have lost, but won. They found a way to win. Let's give them credit.
Fresno had them too.
Right. Well, even before that, it was Georgia State had them on the ropes. And Fresno, trick off session out there in Fresno on a hot night, found a way to give it up. So what I'm saying is the Minnesota team that you might face when Nebraska usually faces them maybe not be the Minnesota team that they face on the 31st because they haven't hit the rhythm, and they have a new quarterback, new running back, a new identity. And even though you have some a lot of skill position guys coming back, tight end and plethora of receivers, they've never played with this quarterback before. And they have, which I think is the ultimate sin, co-offensive coordinators. I do not know how that works. Okay,
would you rather have 2 offensive coordinators or 2 quarterbacks?
No, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none.
Is it the same theory for offensive
coordinators? Well, but one coordinator understands that me asking Jay to run Veer versus me asking Austin to run Veer may be different. I understand that part. Having you 2 call plays together, oh boy.
Who's gonna be the play call? Like, who's gonna be the guy, I guess, from upstairs or on the field that's gonna
every other play
call the play?
Every other play. Jay, you got first down. Austin got second down. Jay,
are you doing a series? Because so if Austin's the head coach and we're co-offensive coordinators, and I'm waiting my second series, I'm looking at I might not be looking at what he's calling that's working. I'm looking like I want my plays to be better than him.
Yeah,
Kellen Moore style.
Watch this.
Right.
Watch this.
So now I'm coaching. Now I'm coaching for myself, or calling plays for myself, and not to win the game because.
And I'm taking DP out of his rhythm. He found something that worked.
Right. Or I might just do the opposite.
And I don't even like he don't even like DP.
Right.
Like he want Rico in the game so he can do some other stuff.
And then you're thinking like, man, He gets to do the first series. He gets to do the first 15 like a lot of people do. PJ Fleck is going to have to do. I'm sure he has it. I'm sure this is what they've been working through. But the birdie up in Minnesota has told me, out of camp, it has not been as smooth as it had been. Now, when you lose a stalwart at running back, lose your quarterback that started to take on the look of his head coach,
Your sixth-year center,
who's the best center in the draft and one of the best offensive linemen to come out in the draft, and a couple other guys. I understand that, but the rhythm on the offense isn't there. And when you're playing a pretty well-stacked defense at all three levels, it makes it even harder. So where's the confidence? Where's the continuity? Where is the pecking order? Let's just play devil's advocate for the Minnesota Gophers. We're in game 4, and play caller 2 has, when they chart everything, his offense seems to be better. The quarterback seems to play better underneath it. Do you switch? Who's going to – okay, fine. Say one's calling the passing plays, one's calling the run plays. Who's deciding when you're passing and running? Because a passing game coordinator, he wants to pass the ball. Kellen Moore.
I need sunshine in the game. I need sunshine at quarterback. Once he learned how to do the pitch,
right?
Like this is the chaos.
Well, it could be potential chaos.
Yeah.
And I can talk from personal experience. I felt like the first year under Frank was a little bit of chaos because Frank was an offensive guy under T.O., had some other assistant coaches that wanted to call. That was probably the most frustrating as a defender that I saw it. Now, I will say this meet and grind big boy football threesome, right? Wisconsin, Iowa, and Minnesota all have big sores that they like holes in their game that they hadn't had before. We just talked about Minnesota. Now let's just skip over Iowa because there's news coming out of Iowa City as well.
What?
Let's go to Wisconsin, right? Look, we met Braylon Allen.
Austin, did we let him off the hook on that, or do we tease?
Oh no,
we're getting to it. We're getting to it. Yeah,
because
we're skipping it for now.
Okay.
It's the last game of the season.
Okay.
Look,
yeah.
we keep
Like,
Iowa.
I'm riding along.
We keep Iowa for last because we want everybody to stick it to Iowa.
Got it.
Wisconsin, we saw Braylon Allen at St. Elmo's. That's a big brother that's put together.
Whew.
And he's given. Listen, I saw Cam Taylor-Britt try to bump tackle him. He flew off him like a little gnat. And he has home run speed.
Braden Allen walked into our dinner space and stood next to Jay Foreman and gave him what Bernie Mac said, looking at me like I'm small.
Right. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. He's a big fan of Amon Green. Grew up watching Amon Green. Rashawn somehow ran into him outside. He shows up. He's talking to Amon. Me and Farley are there, and I've seen him play, right? Because I've been on the sidelines when he play, and I was like, how is this big dude at 17 years old this fast? Okay, like what is he eating? And what did he eat in high school? Because he was a linebacker in high school, and they had injuries, which is Berger, who's at Michigan State, and he's like, hey, coach, I know you got me over here playing defense, but I told her to pill before. They're like, yeah, the next
the reverse Jay Foreman.
Right. Well, he actually could run. So I saw him there, and I'm looking, and he had like a white shirt on, and I was like, and I'd seen him before, so I knew he was a big dude, right? But then I'm like, man, then I'm sizing him up. I'm like, man, like I'm thinking like, okay, where would I hit it? Where would I hit him? Right? He big. He got big old barrel chest. That's probably not the best place. He got long arms. Yeah, okay, you could face a stiff arm. Then he had sweatpants on, but you could tell he had been doing some squats.
Yep.
So I said, let me go size this brother up, man. Let me just go see, because I'm 6'2.5", 6'3". Let me see what's up. My man turned around and was like, how you doing? Looking eye to eye.
Spread out.
Hey.
Like his chest got broad.
And then
and Jay's like, those ankles look mighty tasty. Slap him on the way
Then
back.
I did the thing, and so I dapped up with him, and then just
pulled him in.
Right. But I patted him on the shoulder. My man had muscles upon muscles. I said, yeah, that's why I'm not playing football no more.
If he walked in the room and you didn't know, and you would easily say, that's the number one tight end in all of college football.
Yeah, for real. I mean, and then the next day he had a suit on. That's it. He's yoked up to the gills. But with Wisconsin, here's the deal. Even though you have an NFL running back, and you talk about you're not using running back, you have an NFL running back with home run speed. They have the run and gun offense coming in, a new head coach that's been given the longest runway of any coach in Wisconsin, new coach in Wisconsin history, to change the program to Cincinnati way, and a new defensive philosophy. They're ripe for the picking.
How long is Fickell's runway compared to Rule's?
Oh, they're both there. They both. I mean, it's right. I mean,
New York, LA.
Yeah. I mean, it's coast to coast.
Okay.
It's coast to coast. And it's no stoplight. For both of them, got the longest runway out there.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You want to go? You want to go? You want to go?
Yeah, we know who the guy is. Okay, both of them. But the identity has changed, right? And you have a coach that comes in with recent college football playoff success and turning around a program. But offensively, they brought in 5 quarterbacks. Okay, they're recruiting quarterbacks. They brought in a plethora of receivers. So the identity of that offense, yes, they'll still be able to run the ball. They're talking about going 4 wides and trying to get less guys out of the box to be more efficient with the run game. But at the end of the day, when you are playing against a team that knows what you're going to do, and nobody knows if your quarterbacks really can throw, I'm still going to load the box up. So if you can't run the ball, you got to be able to pass. That's totally different than Wisconsin. So I feel like they're right for the picking. Their starting linebacker, who's an NFL caliber, one of their inside guys, is suspended indefinitely. That's a chunk in the hole. Benton got drafted in the 2nd round. He was a problem last year. So he's gone. So what I'm saying is this. Every defense is strong up the middle. 2 guys that led that defense of the strength is gone. So what I'm saying is they're right for the picking for Nebraska. So it's not the same. And then now we get to come to the people that we all know, love to hate. Ooh. And we went in there and beat them last year. Yes. Is Iowa. How did they listen? Poor Iowa, right? They got guys on the team that's gambling. The one guy that's just like Isaiah Lee, per fans like it's no big deal because he's hurt. That lets you know he's going to be out for the season, and he's not on the team. So you get to slide past that. They go in the transfer portal. They make news in the transfer portal at Iowa City at a basketball game. They have 3 of the biggest transfer portal gets or potential gets at that basketball game. And just oddly enough, some Iowa fan posted it. Guess who it was? Eric All, Ernest Hausman, Cade McNamara. They closed 2 of those guys, the Michigan guys. One, an all Big Ten quarterback, that led him to the first college football playoff, lost to Georgia, and an all Big Ten caliber tight end who just battled some. Both of them are coming off injuries, and Ernest Hausman ends up going to Michigan, right? They must have told him how bad Michigan was. He said, I'm going anyways, right? Ernest Hausman's doing great up there, just all jokes aside. I was sitting back. Then they went and got, as needed receivers in the transfer portal, lost a whole bunch of guys, got some guys, 2 NFL tight ends. They have told you last year, if you listen to Kirk Ferentz, my offensive line will be grown up by next year. Well, it's next year. And we fixed our quarterback problem by Cade McNamara, right? Didn't practice that much in spring. Everything's focused towards fall camp or summer camp, whatever you want to call it. Have their first scrimmage last weekend. Cade McNamara injured again. Now, is he out for the season? Most likely not. But what it does, as we talked about continuity at Nebraska, it stymies their continuity. It stymies their confidence. You have an offensive coordinator who happens to be the head coach's son that has to score more than 25 to 27 points a game or he's fired. And the dude that you expected to remedy that, because everybody says Iowa would be a top 10 team year in and year out because the defense and special teams are so good if they could have a quarterback. Spencer Petras last year was flat out horrible. He had a negative quarterback rating. Okay? Twice. Not once, but twice. Or 0 quarterback rating, not once, but twice. So the guy that's supposed to run, poor Iowa. I feel bad for you about all of 0.0 seconds.
You bring up the SP Plus numbers, and just skimming through them, I don't think there's a bigger gap because they do offensive and defensive SP Plus. I don't think there's a bigger gap than Iowa's 78 spot gap between their number 1 rated defense and their 79th rated offense.
Yeah. That's
hold on, boys.
Projected to score 23 points a game give up 9.
Well, that's a winning season.
Yeah,
That's a winning
guess what?
season.
That ain't enough.
No, that ain't enough. That ain't enough for what?
What's Brian Ferentz has to score more than 25 points a game. If it goes like this, bro, you might go to the Big Ten championship, but you still fired. You got to go.
That's kind of what I was thinking. And if they hold Big Ten teams to 9 points a game,
you going undefeated in the Big Ten West. If you just do this right here, you're going to be a top 10 team, and you're going to the Big Ten championship, and you're going to face or Ohio State, Michigan, or Penn State, most likely one of the top two of that mentioned first, and you're going to lose, and then your offensive coordinator, they're going to be calling for it. That's not enough scoring points because you're going to lose probably 40 to like 13.
What Jerry Seinfeld say? Hate to see that.
You know, the one thing I didn't.
Sorry to see it.
The one thing I didn't get to do because Kurt Ferentz was impressive, and he was very engaging, and he was very thoughtful. And
Jay likes old coaches.
What?
Like young coaches, Jay will kind of look at sideways, like, dude,
they ain't done it yet.
But the old coaches, like, nothing excites Jay Foreman like Dr. Tom Allen walking in the room.
That's only because I've worked with him.
I'm just saying.
I just like him, and I feel bad for him. I hope he does well. But Kurt Ferentz, I wanted to see how are you getting these recruits to come here? You got a lot of issues, bro. You got a weight coach that's just out of control.
Gone now. He went with Urban to Jacksonville.
Right, but he's been there for like 20 years. You had a son that just pops off at the mouth. You lost to Nebraska finally when you had everything in front of you. All you had to beat is lowly Nebraska, who wasn't going to keep their intern coach. You had an offensive coordinator that didn't, like I heard earlier, that didn't even come down at halftime to do any adjustments. He chilled up there and ate a couple more hot dogs up there, and you still lost. And so I wanted to see what made Iowa go, and he's ultimately professional. And he's.
I've been watching the Johnny Manziel documentary.
Please.
So my only response to that is Dallas High.
No, look, Kurt Ferentz has the best agent out there. Anytime that Jacksonville, because Jacksonville at this point in time, earlier in Kurt Ferentz's successful tenure, every 2 years they fired a coach. Kurt Ferentz was always up for it, re-up. Then they said, we're tired of it. We're just going to do a lifetime contract. I wanted to ask him about the COVID year that Nebraska played there and the clapping. I wanted to ask him about that because
I did it.
That's why I wanted to ask him. But I wanted to ask him about his comments after the game.
What are you complaining about clapping now?
Like, are we serious? Right? I wanted to ask him. I wanted to ask him, Kurt, man. Now, here's the hardest question of the day. Do you guys do one or two claps when you're supposed to? He's like, are we supposed to be quiet? I mean, it was just the funniest thing.
This is the question I want to ask him, and I know that I would be thrown out of the building, but I want to ask Kurt. Question for you, honest question. Should the bagman be from Iowa or not?
Right. Well, he is like, he'll tell you, say, well, is he betting or not? He ain't a bag man. He's the guy that's supposed to hook. That's how they're paying guys. Listen, talk to this guy. He'll get you to bet. This is where your extra NIL money and stuff that we promised you come from. But the dude that was telling them to bet didn't cover their trace.
I love this text. Aaron, this is spectacular. This is spectacular.
Is it AA, Ron?
No. This is different Aaron. He says, regarding Iowa, it's going to be fascinating to see it all play out. Know where they're taking a knee or running down the clock late in games. Right. That's like to get to that 27. Look, man, they need he's got to do it. Imagine that it comes down to that, right? And that in the season, you need that average. Field goals don't matter. No, we need 7. We need 7, Dad. We need 7.
Yeah, I know, right? He's gonna be going deep. He's chucking and ducking. Hey. We got my man. Unknown texter. He said he's hating. He said look. I give you credit. Unknown texter. He says, listen, I'm drinking a full gallon of Haterade. He says pretty much Minnesota eats soft teams for breakfast. 31-17 Gophers. He said Nebraska has a new quarterback. They never play for coaches, etc., etc. Minnesota has a big advantage. That normally is the case. But Minnesota doesn't have their quarterback that's been there for 85 years, and the running back that there was the ultimate equalizer is gone along with the center. I keep saying this, and you really need to get on board with me. And when we start breaking down film, good teams are good up the middle on offense and defense. That has not changed. It will not change as long as football is being played.
We're gonna have to clip that and play that back to Jay several times this season.
Right. Well, come on now. That's up to them. Saying the Gophers had the advantage of eating soft teams because they just had the one of the top centers. Why do you think we had Cam Jerkins? This dude could have went out early. He stayed. One of the best, if not the best center, particularly in the Big Ten in the nation, or one of them. Right? Had him.
Was he ever all Big Ten
for Minnesota?
No. Was Cam Jerkins ever all Big Ten?
I don't know, but he's just. I mean, he was good. But I'm talking about Minnesota had that.
They had
a quarterback,
Bobby No Neck. Yeah.
Third team in 2021 by the coaches, honorable mention in 2021 by the media.
And then what was Minnesota's centers?
Give me a second.
Because we interviewed him.
Or something.
Remember we interviewed him and he came up and it looked like he had not seen a custom suit.
No. He had a 45-inch neck.
like he
just been waking up doing the neck machine. But then they had the quarterback.
AP first team All-American, FWA first team All-American, Walter Camp second team All-American, all Big Ten, first team in 22, second team in 2021 by the coaches, third team by the media.
He walked in the Big Ten media with his head on his shoulder.
Right. Hetty Murphy. He looked like, you know what he looked like? He looked like Ram Man for He-Man. So the Minnesota had him for 3 years. Then you had the quarterback for 3 years. And then you had the running back for 4 years. That's how you're strong up the middle, and that's how you eat teams for breakfast, right? Yeah. So now that is gone, or at least, or all three of them are gone, that's why I'm saying Nebraska has a chance. So we'll see how it goes, man. And we're gonna. Hey, he ran, man. He looked like Beetlejuice. He was Beetlejuice, but he had a big.
Before they struck the head,
right? Listen. His head was so big, it looked like it was a barbecue pit. I looked at his head like, that definitely is 8 1/4, 8 1/2.
You couldn't even see the separation where at the top of his collar and the tie.
And the thing is
just a spot on his neck.
Right. And the thing is, he got a little ginger on him, and he's like pale and fair skin. That head, I mean, it looked like a basketball.
Oh,
that head.
And he sat down, you could hear it. You could,
boom. Right. Like Andre the Giant. Anyways, we're going to go to break, and then we're going to come back and talk about the
he had the Greg Valentine head.
That's exactly who it was. Hey, texters, Google Greg Valentine. Okay? Except for he didn't have the long, stringy blonde hair and the mullet.
Right.
This dude had
my God.
That's him. That's it. That's good right there. Greg Valentine. Jay Foreman, DP Austin. We're going to go to break. Top 100 in who Nebraska gets to see and who we're excited to watch as well. We'll be right back.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're counting on your team to win. So why not prove it? By placing your bets at Warhorse Sportsbook. Their win is your win. Put your money where your mouth is on nearly every sporting event. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person at Warhorse Casino, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. There are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Warning, this ad will use the F word often, so listen at your own risk. Family fun, fun with friends, freedom from fuel, free Yeti cooler, free driveway delivery. Hey, this is Carl from Nebraska Golf Carts and Price Right Auto, and we have the all-electric Bentelli Fun Carts, and they are a blast. Plenty of fun colors, and these street-legal cars come in both 4 and 6 passenger. Tell us you heard us on the ticket and get a free Yeti cooler with your purchase. Hurry, supply is limited. Check them out at 1235 West O in Lincoln or NebraskaGolfCarts.com.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Well, I'm an interior designer. A lot of builders don't have designers on staff. I'm included with our Aspen package and can make your home more custom to your taste, your needs, and your wants.
Rachel's our interior designer at Aspen Builders. She's one of the reasons that makes us really good at what we do. I'm Bob Benish, and we absolutely love how Rachel takes care of our clients.
I think the biggest challenge with building is a lot of clients are worried about all the choices. When they come in, they kind of have a deer in the headlights look. I like to ask people at the end, so what did you think? And usually they pause and they say, you really broke it up, kept it simple. We just did one meeting at a time, so I wasn't looking at all the decisions I had to make. I had plenty of time to decide things. You walked me through it all. It made it simple.
Make your dream a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your dream home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
The best way to learn about Southeast Community College is to visit. SCC's Discovery Days will give you the opportunity to experience SCC firsthand this fall. Discovery Days provide information about SCC's programs of study, how to pay for college, SCC support services, housing, activities, and more. A campus tour and lunch are provided. See your options at southeast.edu/visit SCC. SCC, your path to possible.
What would you tell a friend who was on the fence about going to Limitless Mail?
I would tell them to go to Limitless today. Don't hesitate. You're going to second guess yourself on if it's the right decision. The staff there is amazing. The treatments work. I'm living proof that it can completely change your life for the better.
Join thousands of men who have changed their lives with testosterone treatment. Slow down the aging process and live life. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmail.com.
Join Planet Fitness now and get the PF Black Card for only $24.99 a month. You'll enjoy an upgraded experience with tons of perks.
Like access to more than 2,000 locations worldwide?
Yep.
And massage chairs?
Yes.
Can I bring a friend every time?
Sure.
Can my friend be a horse?
Nay. Sorry. Get the PF Black Card and feel fit-tacular. Only $24.99 a month. Our most popular membership, the PF Black Card, is your ticket to getting all the perks. Join today. See Club for details.
There's a buzz in the air at Kansas as drivers fight to move on to the next round of the playoffs. NASCAR Playoffs weekend at Kansas Speedway, September 8th through the 10th. Get your tickets today at kansasspeedway.com.
This Sunday night at 7 on the finish line on 93.7 The Ticket, we are going to be joined live by 16-year-old standout Jade Evadizian. She pilots the Mobile One sponsored number 71 in the Extreme Outlaw Midget Dirt Track Series. You can join in and be a part of the conversation as we hear how this young lady is putting her mark on dirt track racing. From throwing wild sliders at I-55 in Peebly to last quarter passes for the win at Atomic Speedway or driving under Team S for another win back in March. Don't miss a second of the conversation. This Sunday night at 7, right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Back to Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Here we are, second segment in the 5 o'clock hour. Jay Foreman, DP, Austin on the ones and twos. What we all been waiting for is it's not waiting. This is the ESPN came out with their top 100 players in college football. Here's one of the most interesting facts. Not facts, because this isn't factual. This is all just subjective opinion. Some of them are factors, like Brock Bowers is that dude, Marvin Harrison is that dude, Caleb Williams. But of the 100, Austin, are you looking at it?
I got it pulled up.
Okay. right now, I want you to guess of the 100, you two, how many do you think are quarterbacks? Just off the top of your head, how many do you think?
Without looking.
Without looking.
Okay, I'm switching tabs.
This is astonishing.
Williams, May,
No,
Penix,
I just need the numbers.
Nix.
Just how many?
I'm just trying to think through
All
it.
right. Yeah.
That's 4.
America loves quarterbacks.
So do the writers or whoever wrote this. Whoever wrote this.
Yeah.
12.
I'd have said 15.
12 and 15. 21. Listen.
Go with what you know, bro.
Listen. They have Milton from Tennessee down at 76. They have my man
Jordan Travis.
Yeah, Sam Hartman. Listen where they have a guy from University of Texas San Antonio.
Yeah, Frank Harris. It's my boy.
KJ Jefferson, Arkansas.
But let me vouch for Mr. Harris.
Well, no, I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying. Listen,
let me just say. Remember Willis at Liberty?
Yeah, he's that. Yeah, Frank Harris is that dude. He had 4,000 yards, 32 touchdowns.
32,
and he was 57 the year before. But what I'm thinking, but here's what I'm thinking. Yes, he's a great college quarterback. He's a great player. Not taking anything away from him. When you're thinking of top 100, you're trying to tell me USC's number 2 receiver isn't in there. I know Ohio State has their 2 receivers in there, but you're trying to tell me a Clemson wide receiver or a Florida. I'm just saying the depth of these guys.
Well,
and then you have 21 quarterbacks. 21.
If this is again
21 quarterbacks.
You're talking about writers who don't watch football outside of their own space. They know names of quarterbacks.
They even have Jared. They have Will Rogers in there.
There's nobody on this who voted on this list that knows 21 centers in America. There's none.
They got J.J. McCarthy on there.
They do not know. They don't know. They don't know 6 kickers. They don't know the best 4 kick returners. They don't know 15 of the best offensive guards.
Let me ask you this. This is one of the most surprising to me.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you about this. Jalen Daniels from Kansas took the nation by storm because Kansas went to a bowl game, started out 5-0.
Mm-hmm.
It was a foregone conclusion that their head coach was going to be the head coach of Nebraska up until they tricked off that game and last play of the game against TCU, and the rest is history. It still made a bowl game, but Jalen Daniels as number 44 is way too high. He only had 2,000 yards last year and 18 TDs. Yes, he only played 9 games, but that's still not enough. 44. And DP's right. I think a lot of these writers are looking at fanfare, SIDs, and stuff like that, because there's no continuity to it. Because when you look at who I just mentioned before, like Jalen McMillan, the wide receiver who's supposedly might be a first-round pick for Washington, is number 48. He has the numbers: 80 catches, 1,000 yards, 9 receivers. The other receiver had on Washington had the same. Well, Michael Penix, he's got to be rated higher. You have Latu, the pass rusher from USC or from UCLA,
ahead of Junior Colson,
right? But he had 10.5 sacks, and he has next level, measurables. And you're trying to tell me he's number 49 behind him as well?
Dylan Gabriel at 60.
Right.
We saw him, and we've seen him. All things were considered.
Right. Dylan Gabriel, right? He kind of was up at the top of, the people that everybody loved, and then they took a little bit of a dip. But let's look at the Big Ten players, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the knowns of, Marvin Harrison Jr., we know that, right? He's there. He's that dude. He's unstoppable. But the first guy that Nebraska really will see is who we saw up close and personal, that won the best dress, and he won the
serious,
and he won the most charisma, is Blake Corum.
Mm-hmm.
I would call him Pocket Hercules, but my man is yoked up. He's 5'9", every bit of 215. He's built real well.
He said, "Yo, Blotto, this blazer don't fit you."
Yes.
Yeah, he was that. His suit jacket was screaming.
Yes, and his NIL money went right to those chains.
Ooh.
But you have him, and then you have Edwards. Two in Edwards, when Corum got hurt, he was able more than to step up and carry it. That's 2 NFL caliber running backs. I know they don't use it that much, but you got 2 guys that are very, very dominant or could be dominant if they were on separate teams, but they make a 2-headed monster.
Whoa.
That gives a lot
Number
of people
93, Jay Foreman. Number 93. Number 93,
Who's that?
bro. Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, that was where I was going to get to next, but I wanted to take a pit stop, DP.
Okay.
At your boy, okay?
Say it.
Because you're from the Utah, he's from
Say
the
it.
Utah Utes, who I like the way he plays tough. Plays with a really good chip on his shoulder. I feel like
second best tight end in college football. Second best offensive lineman. Third best defensive lineman.
Yeah.
But, and top 7 quarterback.
I'm talking about Cam
Rising. Top 7 quarterback.
Yeah, and he's a gamer. Seems to play his best and biggest moments. I mean, he jumped on the national scene 2 years ago in the Rose Bowl against Ohio State. Went throw for throw, big play for big play against Ohio State. Ohio State obviously ended up pulling away. But then the way that he was effectively, not only in the first time they played USC, to be efficient, throwing to the Kincaid and the other tight end that's on here, but then he doubled down when USC, if they win that game, they're in the college football playoff in the Pac-12 championship. That's the one I think they got right. Utah, normally wouldn't be on there, but they're on there with 3 different players.
They're going to finish the season at number 2.
2 offensive players and a defensive tackle.
They're going to finish going into college playoffs number 2. I'll go to bat with that right now. They win the Pac-12 and they go into the season into the bowl rankings at number 2.
What do you think about Penn State? Penn State with Kalen King, they're now coming to be cornerback, but they have 2 really good running backs in Singleton and what's the other one's last name? He's on here. They have 2 really good running backs themselves.
Yeah, they did list 2 Ohio State.
Yeah.
Both
2
of
Penn
them.
State.
Yeah. And then I like number 100 on the list. Number 100.
Oh, if he's anything like his dad, he's going to play NFL football for another decade or 2 decades. It's Frank Gore Jr. He's down there at Southern Miss. I'm sure that his DMs were off the charts as far as coming to our school and taking over our reins. Decided to stay there and has done really well. And he's lived up to all the expectations. As I say here, he's at 1,600 yards from the scrimmage, so it lets you know he's got 1,000 or 1,300 yards rushing, and then he averaged 11 yards per catch. So he's doing it all down there and making a name for himself. Here's the one guy I know Tulane was good last year. I watched them, and I felt like at times last year they were more physical than Nebraska when the way that they played, and they were exciting. And of course, the quarterback is going to get a ton of kudos. I'd be hard pressed to think that he's number 99.
Kansas State quarterback is on the list.
I like him. Will Howard.
Right.
I think he was I think with Will Howard, I think Adrian got him started. He got dinged up. Will Howard came in there and gave them another more explosive down the field passing threat. Adrian came back in the 2-headed monster. I felt like catapulted Kansas State. I can see why he's on there.
But they got
Kobe Bryant on here.
They have Riley Leonard at 92. Duke's quarterback. And I thought, okay.
It's Daniel Jones' like younger brother.
Right. You're doing I'm trying to whisper. Okay, Austin, I understand, but that Duke has 2 players in 90 through 95. Duke.
Well,
this ain't hoops. If you said Duke had 2 of the 100 best players in basketball, okay. Football.
Well, let me ask you this, Austin and DP, before we go to break. Would you ever thought that Riley Leonard had over 700 yards rushing? You would have.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because he went to Duke.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't have a choice.
Yeah,
gotta run.
Did some work against Northwestern.
Gotta run.
He threw for 3,000 though.
Yeah, but a lot of his stuff is I'm gonna spread you out.
It must be something with Duke's quarterback. Because Daniel Jones was fast and this dude's fast.
Spread you out.
Well, they got away from the Cutcliffe model, right? Cutcliffe worked with the Mannings, who are very much not that. Now that he's gone, I think Elko's going more mobility.
Listen, Duke will spread you out.
Oh, I know.
And get the quarterback one-on-one with a weak side linebacker, a will linebacker. That they step up towards the weakest tackler in the front seven, step up against him, beat him, get me 12, hit the dirt, let's roll again.
And when you were first starting to get into the sports media radio, Duke would have Riley Leonard ahead of Spencer Rattler, who was QB1 superstar, one of the top recruits, surefire first-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like he was rejuvenated the second half of the season under Marcus Satterfield in South Carolina. Never would you think a Duke quarterback would be in there. Never would you think Duke would have a first-round pick and Daniel Jones as a quarterback. And then they got his little brother and doubled down on it.
Hey, find something that works, copy success.
That is true.
Copy success.
And if they didn't just copy success, but now.
Hey, a smart school copied success. How about that?
Yep. Listen here. Before we go to break, for people that Marcus Satterfield, if we could bring some of this, if you can get Jeff Sims to play somewhat consistent. Antoine Wells Jr., they call him Juice. He had 68 catches on pretty much 1,000 yards. One of the guys that ran those level routes to Tennessee is still trying to figure it out. If we could get a Marcus Washington, IGC, Billy Kemp to be somewhat productive like this, we're going to have a different conversation at the end of the year. He's in the top 100, 91, along with Spencer Rattler. Again, South Carolina has not been known as offensive power. They've always been a defensive school. Ton of first-round picks. So good up on them. Little kudos to Marcus Satterfield. Jay Foreman, DP, we're going to break. Then we'll send you off on this Hump Day Wednesday.
Teammates.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Spring is here, and it's time to wake up Judson. Judson Irrigation is eager and ready to get your sprinkler system up and running for the season. Judson's technicians will check for winter damage, adjust your sprinkler heads, and show you how to set your controller for effective sprinkling coverage. The Judson Irrigation team is here for you. Stay safe.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, and they've scouted out the best Kawasaki side-by-side deals for you. Score up to $2,500 off the 2023 Kawasaki Teryx and up to $1,000 off Mule Pro FX and FXCs. Whether you want to handle the toughest task in a trusted, tried and true mule or looking to dominate adventure in a Teryx, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered with a large selection of Kawasaki side-by-sides in stock at their new 27th and I-80 location. Hurry in, the clock is running down. Offer valid through 9/30/2023. Subject to change without notice. Offer available on approved purchases of select new unregistered Kawasaki vehicles. Model and year exclusions apply. Cannot be combined with promotional retail financing rates.
Proud to be voted Best Vape Shop.
Generation V
is thrilled to announce our newest location is now open at 27th and Superior.
Generation V.
Explore the largest selection of vape, Delta 8, Kratom, all your favorite brands of disposables, e-liquid, and premium THCA flower.
Generation V.
We'll guide you through our extensive collection to help you find the perfect fit.
Generation V.
With locations in Lincoln, Omaha, Seward, York, Kearney, and Beatrice. Visit our newest store now open at 27th and Superior in Lincoln. GenerationV.com. E6 contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
Fairway Meat Market, your family. And as part of their family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. This Friday and Saturday, enjoy a 2-day sale on USDA Choice Bacon Wrapped Sirloins for just $3.99 per 8-ounce cut. A 5-pound box of snow crab clusters for just $49.99. And when you buy 2 1.75 liters of Captain Morgan spiced rum, you can get it for just $19.99. Stop by for the 2-day sale this Friday and Saturday at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Nutrition Authority invites you to save 35 to 75% off at our back-to-school blowout. We're taking our better-than-internet prices and cutting them even deeper, bringing you the biggest sale of the season. Monday, August 14th through 19th, the back-to-school blowout is on at Nutrition Authority. For location information, check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
Junior Achievement of Lincoln inspires and prepares young people for success. Learn more about the people involved in the organization and the success stories over the years each Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. for the Junior Achievement Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Vershawn Jackson for Brand Excavating.
Brent's been in business for 29 years, and they specialize in a variety of things. If you're looking for someone to get the job done in precision demolition, excavating, trucking, mass grading, and site prep, Brent is the place to call. To set up a quote or learn more, call Brent Excavating at 402-474-4113 or go to BrentExcavating.com. They're also hiring, so join the team today. Brent Excavating, a part of the Bauer brand, who reminds you, go Big Brent!
Whether you're looking for a new place to call home or trying to sell your current home, you want to make it as easy as possible. So why not use a realtor that works harder so you don't have to? The Carpe Diem team at Nebraska Realty is your go-to realty team for all your residential and commercial needs. They pride themselves on working hard and making your life as easy as possible while educating you every step of the way. Contact the Carpe Diem team to seize your moment, whether it be buying, selling, building, investing, or even commercial real estate. Give them a call today at 402-429-8121.
Warning, this ad will use the F word often, so listen at your own risk. Family fun, fun with friends, freedom from fuel, free Yeti cooler, free driveway delivery. Hey, this is Carl from Nebraska Golf Carts and Priced Right Auto, and we have the all-electric Bentelli Fun Carts, and they are a blast. Plenty of fun colors, and these street-legal cars come in both 4 and 6 passenger. Tell us you heard us on the ticket and get a free Yeti cooler with your purchase. Hurry, supply is limited. Check them out at 1235 West O in Lincoln or NebraskaGolfCarts.com.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone again, and with me on the line, Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I know how proud you and everyone at the dealership are to earn the prestigious Honda President's Award year after year, 17 times. Tell our listeners what it means to you and your customers.
Thanks, Charlie. Yeah, all of us are extremely proud to have earned this award, and I want all of our customers to know it's not just earned by one person's efforts. It's the entire dealership, sales, parts, and our amazing service department.
17 times. Wow. How does that compare to other Honda dealers?
This award is only given to the most elite dealerships that demonstrate excellence. We really do strive to go above and beyond for the ultimate customer experience before and after the sale, Charlie.
That's why for 2022, Honda of Lincoln is once again Nebraska's #1 volume Honda dealer. Come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
The captain, Vershawn Jackson.
Gilbert could be at every down tight end. He looks the part. I mean, I had a chance to talk to him. He has, to me, transformed himself again in the offseason. I want to see him blocking and play action stuff.
Well, maybe if you do put him in the slot, you throw a quick hitch to him and, let the big guy rumble.
But I think Fedoni is just as dangerous. I think you put those two guys together, that's a dangerous tight end room. I like them together more than I like them apart.
Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are back old school, sending you guys off. Appreciate the love on the text line. Participation is always a must. Everybody's sending in pictures of NFL players with no luck. They got no neck. They got tequila spikes. Then they have Mr. No Neck that got arrested.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's the way he was. But it is what it is. One day closer, one practice closer, one 4 to 6 of old school closer. Things will start ramping up here, and obviously as you get down in the single digits, up towards the game. But being 14 days away before you get on the flight, time is of the essence. The clock is not ticking; the clock is ticked. Yeah, and it is ringing louder and louder and louder. And so you have to, instead of being nervous about it, finding ways to work around it and work with it. Understand, look, the time is coming. This is what you come to college for. This is what you flex and do all the stuff on Twitter and you're a dog and all this other stuff. This is what
when do you start to worry about players not practicing? What's the drop dead for you that in order for you to play on the 31st, how many practices do you have to have in a row?
Depends on the player. Depends on the player. Somebody that I know that is mentally in tune, like you said yesterday. Look, finding a way to learn how to practice when you're hurt, right? So you say if my shoulder is dinged up, yeah, but I'm still in walkthrough. I'm still taking some 7-on-7 drops. I'm still going through group work. I'm still walking through. I'm still mentally engaged. So I'm doing everything. And if you're not doing any like run plays, so just say it's not a small, I mean, but that percentage of practice can still be replicated because you can go behind the defense and be in the coach's position and get mental reps. And so if you have players that are doing that, going above and beyond, still able to be out there and be active, I'm fine with it as long as I can get you to, a practice 2 before the game so you can be, as sharp as can be. But if you're missing weeks upon weeks, then we need to, project you a couple weeks down the road because we need to get you. So this depends on the position, depends on the player, depends on the makeup, and depends on actually if Jay Foreman's hurt, how well DP and Austin has performed.
Oh, you got to play, bro. You got to play. Me and Austin ain't ready.
Well, then you got to be. Then
you got to go, man.
Then you got to answer the bell. But what you'd like to do is to be able to just say like I'm a top tier player on this team. You'd like to think you two can hold the fort down and not be a negative, but be a break even or a positive, right? Can you 2 or 3 players piece
we'll
together?
Just split it. Yeah, I got the run stop.
Right, you should be able to, and you should be, and that's how as a young player, that's how you gain credibility in the locker room. That's how you gain. DP talks about trust all the time. That's how you gain the trust of your teammates and coaches. Coaches, you're very rarely going to go through a team without guys being dinged up or missing a game, right? Now you don't want multiple guys, but you got to have guys step up.
When do you need the starting lineup in place?
Oh, if I was coaching, I mean, I'd like to have roles in place, like I'd like to be comfortable in that last week, but I mean, if you have a couple guys that maybe DP's the starter, I'm a co-starter, I don't need it defined. Now, probably feel comfortable more, say, with DP going out there because he has more starting experience, but Jay Foreman's just as good, and maybe he gets 2 series to my 1, then I go 2, and then he goes 2. DP's, the starter, more established player. I don't need that defined, but you'd like to have, again, you like to have your 6 or 7 guys that you can kind of project that's going to be there, or at least 8 that are going to be there for the offensive line. Same with the D line. Get the rotation down, continuity. Like to know who's going to be calling the signals on defense, right? Couple guys. So those type of things aren't stopping Tony
and you
White.
need a couple of people too, right?
Exactly.
Somebody gets hurt, somebody else knows how to step up and get it done.
Well, listen, I could be getting into it with the running back. I need somebody else to be over to get it. So until I calm down and get it together. It's a team thing.
Yeah.
So anyways, another good day, good segment. We're going to send you off. We got teammates next. DP, Jay Foreman, we'll see you and talk to you tomorrow. One more. Look, we got high school football in 48 hours. Oh, Howard Cosell. I don't know who I would be. Who I'm a Howard Cross or somebody.
I was going to say the first brother, but I can't do that. I can't put you in there.
Yeah, don't put those. No, don't do that. Don't come on, DP. Don't put Orenthal James Simpson on me, man. You could have put Rick James, but not no James. But Jay Foreman, DP. Howard Cross is out of here. I'm Howard Cross, okay? Howard Cross.
You're Irv Cross.
Irv Cross.
There you go. You're
Howard
Irv
Cross was the tight
I was
end.
gonna say.
Irv Cross, man. You just threw me a curveball, man. We're out of here.
What would you tell a friend who was on the fence about going to Limitless Mail?
I would tell them to go to Limitless today. Don't hesitate. You're going to second guess yourself on if it's the right decision. The staff there is amazing. The treatments work. I'm living proof that it can completely change your life for the better.
Join thousands of men who have changed their lives with testosterone treatment. Slow down the aging process and live life. Schedule your free consult at limitlessmail.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other